Hello everyone, it's Lisa here for Picket Fence Studios. It's the 14th of the month and that can only mean one thing. It's release day here and I've got lots to share with you today. Lots of Christmas holiday items in this release, plus quite a few Halloween items, and also we've got some items for fall as well. So I'm going to jump straight in and share the Christmas items with you. Okay, so I'm going to kick off by showing you the Snowflake stencils that you can purchase this month. I always love a snowflake, and to be honest, Christmas cards are my favourite cards to make, so it's always exciting for me to see what new products are out there. For this month, we've got two Slimline Snowflake stencils to share with you. So here are the two Slimline stencils together. You can see at the bottom that you've got the positive version and at the top you've got the negative version. It's always easier to see them side by side, so you can compare and see what you'll be able to do with them. And there is also a 6x6 version as well. So here is the card that I made with the reversed stencil. I used two new paper glitz colours, and I'm going to show you those two in a moment. And I applied them through the stencil, let them dry, trimmed it down and mounted it up. I really love blue at Christmas, and I thought the blue and green go beautifully together. And you can see, I hope you can see all the sparkle that you get from the paper glitz. It really is so pretty. Dries pretty quickly and it doesn't lift off on your fingers when you run your fingers over, so it's a great product and a fantastic way to add a little bit of bling to your projects. These are the two paper glitzes that I used, and we've got lots of these for you this month. I think there's 6 that I've got to share with you, plus there's a whole new range of paper glazes as well, so stay tuned for all of that. These two here, you've got the snowdrifts on the left and the lime Christmas green on the right, and just look at how pretty they are. They are absolutely beautiful, and I love the way they looked when used together. So they've got mica and glitter in them. When you open it up, you shouldn't shake these. You need to stir them to make sure that you incorporate all the glitter and mica into the, into the application that goes down onto your panel. But they're absolutely gorgeous. So really, really pretty colours on those. So now it's time for me to show you some cards from the team. This card is from Michelle. She has used the 6x6 Snowflake stencil and she has done some rainbow ink blending. The sentiment and the little bird on the branch are coming up in a set that I'm going to show you shortly. This next card is also from Michelle. She likes her snowflakes as much as I do. She has taken one of the Slimline Snowflake stencils and she has ink blended through that. The word die is actually a new die this month, and I'm going to be showing you that a little bit later on. And another one of the Slimline stencils, it's in a Slimline format, but actually this doesn't have to be used on a Slimline card at all, as you're going to see. This is the Winter Forest Scenery stencil. I really love this. Again, you get the positives and you get the negatives of the deer, the bear, the wolf. You've got some clouds in there and you've got 2 lots of trees. So lovely stencil for creating and scene building, and I did create an A2 card with that. And here is the card that I created. Very, very clean and simple, almost a 1-layer card. I did my trees in blue and then I just went over the top in browns and kind of a dark grey for the animals, and I didn't mask anything off. I just went over them and made sure that you couldn't see any of the trees through them. Very, very simple card. That sentiment is from Inside Quotes Christmas, which came out last year, and I did add some sequins onto this as well. They are the new icicle sequins. They are coming out this month. Such a beautiful mix of sequins and clays, actually, in light blues, whites, silvers. Fabulous. I'm just going to open that up so you can see that a little bit better. Really, really pretty. I mean, obviously they always look great in a shaker when you use sequins en masse. I only used a few on my card today, but I absolutely love the look of those. So, so pretty. Okay, so moving on to the next items. These are such good fun. You've got 2 dies to create 2 different gnomes this month. This top one here is Billy the Gnome die. So you have the hat, the body, you've got the beard, a little present, the nose, that's a necklace there. And then that's the top of his, I think that's his moustache. Yes, it is his moustache, because I've actually used that. So you can obviously create these with different colour cardstocks, or you can colour your own cardstock. You could ink blend onto cardstock. You can use your paper glitz or paper glaze and watercolour onto cardstock and cut from that. So all sorts of options there. So you've got Billy the Gnome, and then this one here is Chili the Gnome. So you've got these little deer antlers as well, a scarf, a hat, a beard, obviously the body and the nose as well. Such good fun. Really like these 2 dies. We've got another 6x6 stencil for you. This is called Arctic Winter, and it creates that beautiful kind of Scandi pattern that you can use as a background. Really, really pretty. Again, I have used this with some new paper glaze, which I'm going to come to in a moment. I just love that pattern. It always looks lovely in red and white, of course, but I actually went with blues on my card for that. And of course you can't have the 2 gnome dies without having a gnome sentiment set to go with that. So this is called a Gnome Christmas. You've got 4 different sentiments in this set. Perfect to accompany the gnomes, of course. Snuggle up gnomies, it's cold outside. Merry Christmas from our gnome to yours. You can obviously see these in more detail over on the website, and I should just say at this point I'm going to have an accompanying blog post up for all of my cards over the coming days, and they will be linked in the description below. But that is the set there that I do use on my card. And these are the first 3 new paper glazes I'm going to show you. This is another paper glaze ombre set. So you buy the 3 glazes in one set. You've got A, B and C. Now sometimes you'll get the light, the medium and the dark, but some of the ombre sets are actually going to feature 3 different colours. So that is what these are. You've got a light blue, a silver and a darker blue there. Perfect for Christmas crafting, of course. So that one is called Polar Ice Layers. And here is the card that I made using those products. So for my background, I used the Arctic Winter stencil, and I applied the Polar Ice Layers paper glaze through that. So you can see the darker blue, the lighter blue and the silver. I've just kind of merged them all together. You can blend paper glaze really easily. It's very forgiving as a medium, so you can just go over bits with a new colour and they'll kind of merge together. It's really a great product, great fun to use. This is Billy the Gnome, so I did actually cut the different elements from cardstock and did some ink blending over the top, and I used a sentiment from A Gnome Christmas at the bottom. So now it's time for another card from the team. This one here is from Daniel. He has used Chili the Gnome die on his card, and he has popped him up over a stenciled panel. He has also used the Arctic Winter stencil, but Daniel's using some different paper glaze colours, which I'm going to show you later on. So moving on now to this set, this is called A Happy Winter to You. So this doesn't have to be used for Christmas, it can be used all through the winter, and it does have a coordinating die set as well. I really think this is such a sweet set. You've got the ice there, and then you've got all the different elements that you can use to kind of create a little party on the ice. You've got some snowflakes there, a cat and a dog, another little snowflake. You've got a dog on ice skates there. So it's really, really sweet. And of course the dies are always useful. And this is the card that I created with that set. So I actually just took two of the, I took the bear and the dog, and I just coloured them with Copics, and I stacked them up onto this background which I had created with some simple ink blending, and I added some snowflakes that were released last year. They're from the Winter Snowflake set, and the sentiment is from the set that I've just showed you. So mine is a very clean and simple card, but of course you can really go to town with that ice rink and all the lovely kind of additional elements in that set. As I mentioned earlier, we do have quite a few paper glaze ombre sets this month. This is the next one that I want to show you. This is called Santa's Favourite Colours. Again, you've got the A, B and the C, and you've got a gold, a green and a red. So it's not a strict ombre set, it's 3 different colours. But obviously these are fantastic for Christmas crafting, and you will actually be able to buy the green and the red as separate pots if you would like those individually. The green will be called Christmas Tree Green as a single pot, and the red will be called Red Poinsettia as a single item. But obviously, if you buy the 3 together, you've got the addition of the gold as well. So perfect for holiday cards. Here is another card from Daniel. On this card, Daniel has used Santa's Favourite Colours paper glaze ombre for his background. He used the Arctic Winter stencil again, but on this card he chose to use Billy the Gnome die instead. And this would also be a good time for me to show you 2 more of the paper glitzes. So earlier on I showed you the lovely bright green and blue. Well, these 2 here, on the left you've got True Christmas Red, and you can see there quite clearly how this separates when you receive the pot. So it does definitely need a lot of stirring before you apply it. You can see the layers there, but it's so pretty, the different colours of the glitter and the mica in those pots. And this one is called Traditional Christmas Green. So those are the 2 together. You purchase those as separate items. So that's 2 more in the paper glitz range. Absolutely gorgeous colours, and really, really sparkly and pretty when you put them on a card. Not quite finished with Christmas yet. I've got a couple more items here to share with you. This is called Santa's Snowy Hills die. You've got it cuts a few houses, some trees. You've got Santa and the reindeer there. Really pretty die. You've got obviously the snow banks as well. And this is the card that I made with that die. So I created a watercolour background, and I just added in some splatters into the sky. The black is actually paper glaze. You can use it to splatter and watercolour and things. So I actually added a little bit of black into my sky using the black paper glaze. I think it's called Black Pansy, but I don't have it to hand, but it's the black one anyway. And it's a great way of adding some more interest to a background. And I did a similar thing with white as well. And then I just die cut the die from white cardstock and mounted that up with foam tape. I really like the white against the kind of vivid background, I guess. And that sentiment here at the bottom is from this set here. This set is called Joya Noel, and you've got that sentiment there, plus you've got some other sentiments as well. Christmas greetings, hello winter, so it can also be used as winter set as well. You've got Happy New Year at the bottom, and then you've got Oh My Dear Christmas is Finally Here, which of course is the sentiment that I use there because of the deer in the die. So you've also got some other elements as well, a poinsettia tree, a reindeer, some skating boots. I really like those. I didn't get a chance to use that, but I think that's a really sweet sentiment and image. And of course you've got the little bird on the branch up there.
Time for a card now from Sandy. Sandy has used a couple of the elements from Joya Noel. She's used the deer and one of the sentiments. She's taken the trees from the forest scenery stencil, and Sandy has also used the Arctic winter stencil for her background.
Moving on to the last few items that are for your Christmas crafting. This is the holiday gift tags die. It's a die set, doesn't have a matching stamp set or anything, but you can cut your Christmas tags in different cardstocks, of course. With this you can make little shakers out of them. I am going to be showing you some things that the team has made because I didn't get a chance to use these items coming up.
This first card here is from Julia. Julia has used lots of new items on this Slimline card. You can see the Christmas tags there, die cut in white. She has popped those over a background created with one of the Snowflake stencils. The nesting dolls that feature on the front there I'm going to be showing you in a little while. This next picture here is from Karen. Karen has used the dies to create little shakers. She's cut them out in red cardstock, and she has used some of the new sequin mixes from this month's release to use as her shaker fillings.
Next up you've got the Nativity Slimline die cutting system insert. This is one of the range of inserts that you can use in conjunction with the Slimline die cutting system, and there have been many of those released over the past 6 months or so. You can create a beautiful little nativity scene as an insert within your Slimline card. So you've got the little star there, obviously you've got the stable and the wise men inside, a couple of trees and things. So beautiful set. The second Slimline die cutting system insert is this one, which is a chandelier. So that's it there. It creates this kind of circle insert within your Slimline card, and you do actually have some alphabet dies there as well that go along with this. So I think that's really lovely. It will make a really classy card. I hope to get to use that one soon.
A couple of things to share with you from the team now. First up is this Halloween tag. This is from Rachel. She has used the chandelier insert on a Halloween themed instead of a Christmas themed project. I love how this looks, and I'll be showing some of those other items a little bit later. This next card here is from Sarah. She has used the alphabet dies from that chandelier die set, and she's combined them with another word topper die that I'm going to show a little bit later, and those dies just cut the perfect size in that sentiment banner at the bottom.
And of course it wouldn't be a Picket Fence Studios release without some word dies as well. So you've got a Slimline 7-inch Merry Christmas die there. That does actually cut the words separately, so you can use them on an A2 card as well, and horizontal and vertically. And you have got a word topper die. Now, as you know, if you've been following along, last month Picket Fence Studios released 5 word topper dies. This month you've got one which says Merry Christmas. I'm sure it won't be long before I get that on a card.
And here is the Merry Christmas word topper die in action. This card is from Rachel. She has positioned that towards the bottom of her card. She has also used the Santa Snowy Hills die and the icicle sequins for this beautiful tranquil scene.
And of course we've got some sequin mixes for you as well. I did show you the icicles one earlier on with the blues, silvers and whites. Well, this one here on the left is called Penguins Come to Christmas. This is absolutely lovely. You've got some white sequins, silver sequins. You've got some super cute little penguins in there as well. I haven't got this one open. You'll have to go and have a look at the close-ups on the website or check the link below. That I'm going to have links to everything over on my blog as well. So that's a really, really sweet set. You can even use the little penguins separately, which I'm going to show you in a moment. And then this one here is called Oh Christmas Tree. So traditional Christmas colours, the red and the green trees, along with some sparkling silver snowflakes and some sequins as well. So another very pretty mix.
This card here is from Michelle. Michelle has taken the penguins from that sequin mix and she has added them on in 2 lines across her stenciled background on her card. Such a fun way to show off the little penguins.
Last but not least, in the Christmas items part of this release, we have some new Slimline envelopes for you. These are the Funky Christmas envelopes, the kind of non-traditional colours. I absolutely love bright colours, so these would definitely be on my list for sure. So you've got some white, red, pink, light blue, teal colour and 2 different greens in there. And you've also got this set here. This is the traditional Christmas set. So you get 14 envelopes in each packet, the same for the traditional Christmas and the funky Christmas. In the traditional Christmas set here, you can see you've got a red, a darker green, a gold, a brown, a black, a craft and some white as well. Okay, so we're going to move on now to the Halloween items in this release. I do enjoy creating for Halloween. It isn't celebrated in the same way in the UK as it is in other parts of the world. We don't send cards to each other, but I do always enjoy creating Halloween cards. It's probably something to do with the bold colours or something that makes me always enjoy creating for Halloween. So here are the stamp sets. First up, you've got this set here. This is called You Creep Me Out. You've got the line of monsters there, and then you've got some individual ones there. They're so much fun. Of course, there is a coordinating die set to go with that, and you've obviously got some accompanying sentiments as well. You Creep Me Out is there. Beware monsters like birthday cake. You've got, they better not come to my house, that's for sure. That cake is my own. So really good fun. And you've also got this set here. This is called Not Scared, You Should Be. You've got 2 main images in this set. This is one of the kind of larger stamp sets that Picket Fence Studios bring out, and this one here will fit perfectly on an A2 card in the corner, and they are stamped, or when you ink them up, they are created so that you don't get a completely flat coverage of ink, so there is some texture to that kind of stamped image as well. You've got some separate sentiments here. Now that's some boo sheet. It's just too much fun, isn't it? And of course the Not Scared You Should Be down the bottom, which is the name of the set. The other stamp set that I've got to share with you is called Marching Spiders. This is one of the seamless stamps range, so this means you can repeat stamp this. All these edges match up. They're really clever, and it's a great way of creating a background, a larger background, particularly if you wanted to make your own gift paper or something like that. You can just keep on stamping and these edges are going to match up. So Marching Spiders is that set. And this is the card that I created. I put a bit of white paper down behind so that you can see this more easily. I've used the line of monsters there, coloured them with Copics and used the die to cut them out. And I actually went round the edge. I didn't want to have the white edge showing. because this is a really dark card with the black tree background and the green clouds. I thought it would make them appear like they were glowing if I did sort of a lime green around the outside. So my background is created with the cloud coverage stencil, which was released ages ago, just got round to using it. And this A2 cover plate die is a tree silhouette die that came out last month, and I thought it would be perfect for Halloween cards. And I've got the sentiment there, which is from Not Scared You Should Be, a set I showed you a few minutes ago. So that's how that card came out.
I've got 3 cards from the team to share with you now. The first one here is from Erica. She has used the Not Scared You Should Be set on this card. I absolutely love the way she has done the glow behind the ghost. I think that just looks so atmospheric. Next up is this shaker card. This is from Larissa. She has used the same stamp set, Not Scared You Should Be, and she's created an alternative shaker card by using tulle to keep her sequins in, and she has used one of the new sequin mixes as her shaker filling. Last of the 3 is this one here from Daniel. Daniel took the Marching Spiders seamless stamp and used it as his backdrop to his spooky Halloween graveyard die, and I'm about to show you that in a little bit more detail, but what a fabulous Halloween card that is.
Moving on to the dies now. There are 3 cover plate dies for Halloween in this release. The first up is the Scarecrow cover plate. You've got the pumpkins at the bottom. See the pumpkin head there and the Scarecrow shape. And as I've been going through this video, I am sharing examples from the team as well, so you can see how these cards or how these dies and stamps come to life if I haven't had a chance to use them. So that is the Scarecrow cover plate die, really fun. And this one here is the spiderweb cover plate die. I love this die. I can just picture it with all those bold colours behind. You've got 2 spiders as well that you can use to kind of hang over the cover plate section. So great fun. And then this one here is called the Halloween Graveyard Cover Plate Die. Again, this will fit an A2 card. You've got the trees, the old haunted house, and obviously that cuts a kind of foreground, I guess, on your card as well. So that is that one there.
First up is this card from Sarah. She's used the Scarecrow cover plate die as a silhouette die, and her background is created with 3 or possibly 4 of the new paper glitzes from this release, and they just blend beautifully together to create that sparkly background. This card here is from Erica. She also used the Scarecrow cover plate die, and she did an ink blended background. You can see how well that die fits on an A2 panel as well, and how different the 2 cards actually look. Both of them amazing in their own way. This is the first of 2 cards to share with you using the spiderweb cover plate die. This first one is from Julia. I love the way that she has made her spiderweb look as if it's either covered in dew or it's covered in frost or something. It really looks amazing against her beautiful background. For this card here, Larissa chose to use her web in white against her black background, which just looks fabulous as it really highlights the detail in it. And she's chosen to pair it with one of the beautiful girls with all those gorgeous pops of Halloween colour.
This is the last die that I have to share with you. This is one of the insert dies for the Slimline die cutting system. You've got the witch on a broomstick there, you've got a bat, another bird, I guess that's going to be a rook or a crow or something like that. You've got a cat, another bat there and another bird there as well. So another way that you can incorporate Halloween into your slimline card making. We're almost at the end of the Halloween items now. I've got two 6x6 stencils to share with you. The one on the left is called Jack-o'-lantern, and you've got the pumpkin circle there, plus you've got a pumpkin and the positive and the negative of that in that stencil set as well. And the one on the right here is called Be Spooky Together. Again, you get the positive and the negative of that, so you can use as a mask or a stencil. This is so much fun, this, with the trees and the little picket fence and the witch so on. I hope I get a chance to use that. I think that's a great fun stencil.
This card here is from Karen. Karen has used the Jack-o'-lantern stencil. She's actually taken the negative part of the pumpkin part of that stencil and she's ink blended those across her panel. The sentiment is in a set coming up shortly, which is called Fancy Autumn Sentiments. And this card here from Rochelle uses that Jack-o'-lantern stencil. She has used that to partially cover her card panel and has used the spiderweb cover plate die inserted behind it. It actually just looks as if it's hanging loose, so what a great way to also use that die. This slimline card here is from Julia. Julia has used both the Be Spooky Together stencil, which she uses at the bottom of the card as a silhouette, and she's also included the witch slimline die cutting insert at the top, which just looks amazing in front of her moon.
Finishing off now with the last three sequin mixes from this release. There were 6 in total. These 3 here are all geared towards Halloween. So you've got one here which is all blacks, silvers and whites, and it's got little ghosts in it and some spider webs and things. That one is called Midnight Tales. You've got another one here that's primarily purple, so you've got some lighter purples, some really vibrant purples, and you've got some other little clays in there, so a little frankincense face, and it's super sparkly, that one. And then the last one here, this one is called Trick or Treating, and this is your more traditional colours. So you've got the green, you've got some yellow, you've got some bright purple, and you've also got some little clays in there which are pumpkin heads as well. You can see all of those mix-ups, so all of those mixes over on the website. You can see them in more detail. Okay, so we're coming into the final part of the release here, and these are the items that have been released with fall in mind, plus a couple of other additional items as well. So first of all, I'm going to show you another new set of paper glaze ombre. This one is called Pumpkin Spices, and you've got a beautiful gold, yellow, a brown and a red there. I absolutely love the colours in this set, and I have used these on my cards. So 3 completely different colours, but obviously they all work brilliantly together. We have this slimline stencil for you. There was one released last year sometime, which was a leaf stencil. Well, this is the reverse option. I think people were asking for this. Such a pretty stencil, and of course it looks absolutely lovely with those paper glaze colours as well. So that will span along the whole length of a slimline card. And I've also got another word topper to show you. This is called Happy Fall Y'all, and again it cuts the sentiment at the top there, and you've got a strip at the bottom, like a banner strip, where you can add an additional sentiment. So here is the card that I created with those products. I've used that reverse leaf stencil to go almost over the whole of the width of my panel. and I've used those pumpkin spices paper glaze as well. And I didn't use paper glaze enhancer on this card. I do love the enhancer, but I thought I really wanted the shine from the paper glaze to stand out, particularly because of the gold, but also because of the red as well. So they're just so pretty, these colours. I really wasn't sure. When I first looked at these, I thought, I don't know if these are colours that I would use on a card. And of course, when you actually apply them through a stencil and you see that end result, they are just so gorgeous, and of course remind you completely of fall. If you mix the kind of the red and the yellowy gold, you get a slight orange tinge as well. And this is the word topper, the Happy Fall Yule word topper die, which I actually stacked up to give it more dimension. I've got 3 or 4 stacked together on this card, and I've used one of the sentiments from the word topper dies subtitle set as well to stamp along the bottom there. And whilst we're still talking about mediums, we've got the final 2 paper glitzes to share with you here. You've got Autumn Persimmon on the left here and Fall Golds on the right. So you can see again beautiful colours, that gorgeous orange, and of course you've got that gold there. You can really see the layers in the gold, so that needs, you know, you obviously need to mix all of them before you apply them to get the full kind of sparkle that looks so gorgeous on a card. So those are the final 2 paper glitzes.
And here is one of the paper glitzes. This is the Fall Golds one, and Rachel has used this in conjunction with the reverse leaf stencil to create that beautiful golden fall card.
And these are the final 3 paper glazes for this month. This is an ombre set and it's called Fall Fashions. So you've got that beautiful pink, like a dusky purple, and a gorgeous kind of dark teal. They are just lovely together, and I didn't make a card, but I was testing them out on a panel. So you can see there that they do blend really easily together. I used the Arctic Winter stencil there, so I was just playing around to see what the colours came out like, and that's what they look like. So beautiful colours. I always love my pinks anyway, so I'm sure I'm going to be using those soon. Thank you so much for sticking with me. I've got the final few items to share with you now. This top set here is called Fancy Autumn Sentiments. Most of the Fancy Sentiments range have coordinating dies. I don't think this one is going to have those, but you've got 8 different sentiments here that are perfect for your fall cards. Where the leaves blow, I go. I think that one is just so lovely. You've actually got Tricks and Treats, Make Everything Sweet. So there are some in here that you can use for Halloween cards as well. Got 2 more seamless stamps to share with you. This one is called All the Gourds, so you can repeat stamp and create a big background, or just use it as a single kind of image on a card. And this one here is called Nesting Dolls. So this one's a little bit different. It is one of the seamless stamps, but you also get some coordinating dies as well. So you could cut those dies, the dolls, out separately and just use them in a completely different layout on your card.
And here Sandy shows off perfectly the seamless stamp All the Gourds, and she's used really non-traditional colours for her gourds. And doesn't this just make an amazing slimline card, especially with that golden word topper die across the bottom there. And here we have a card from Karen. Karen uses the seamless stamp Nesting Dolls on her A2 card. She has coloured those with Copics and used a sentiment from a previously released set.
And finally, this is the Handmade Twine Bows stamp set. There are some stencils that are similar to this stamp set, but this is obviously a stamped version that you can add to your cards as kind of a little embellishment. You've got the cords there and obviously all the different formats of twine bows as well. So that brings me to the end of my video.
And I just have one last card to share with you. This is from Michelle. Michelle uses those twine bows in conjunction with the holiday tags. She's also used one of the nesting dolls and created an amazing sparkly background using the paper glitzes.
I hope that you've enjoyed seeing a run through of all the new products. Here's a reminder of my cards. As I mentioned earlier, I will have links to all the new items in the description below, and there will be accompanying blog posts over the coming days, and I will have links to all of those in the description below as well. But I thank you for being with me this time. I know it's a big release, so appreciate you staying here till the end, and I hope that you've enjoyed seeing everything. I'll be back next month with the next release video for you.